Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Foundation once again, to Foundation Extreme, and we continue with, well, some trading finally that is happening. Also our latest trade route that we've opened up is coming in and immediately purchasing clothes from us, a very high quality product that we're producing here. And also the other trader is coming in as well. We have lots of meat to sell. And I think he's just going for all the meat. Yep, he's going for lots of it. Also purchases that. And, well, we don't need any tools anymore since we're producing them ourselves now. So this is really just a net income at this point. Of course, we still have to pay for workforce. We still have to pay for the upkeep of these buildings. But outside of that, it's a nice profitable business so far. And one of our main sources of income, despite my levies, of course. As of the last episode, Montclair finally has a tools production. It is super expensive to build this one and to also have it maintained. In that case, what I can see though is right now that we are constantly lacking our iron ingots. That's because the iron smelter is not keeping up with it. So what I would like to do right away is promote a bunch of villagers again that are serfs to commoners, because this will push their output significantly when it comes to the production of iron ingots for this case here, for example. Can we do the same thing? We could do the same thing for the charcoal hut. But as we can see, this is not providing me with any additional production bonus, right? So this is a building primarily aimed for serfs, whereas the iron smelter is best suited for commoners. These commoners, well, they live then in our latest neighborhood over here. So this is really just a commoner neighborhood now, fully developed for now, at least. And yeah, providing then homes for these. If they don't have a home, they leave the city at some point, right? So we always need to provide homes for these. Also, my church expansion is coming along. And as we can see, we have now 66 capacity in it. Another 2 people join, up to 68 capacity now. What I would like to do with my building resources that we have, I would like to continue now expanding my manor house bit. That's because we want to get more labor splendor points, right? So right now we are a bit low on that. There we have them. And the next levels that would give me the tavern, they would especially give me a treasury. That is something we will need to get soon now, since I want to make more money. And it also gives me the bailiff that will allow us to survey minerals, and that is also something I want to get cracking. So let's just see what we can do here for my manor house. I would like to add a smaller tower now to this one, somewhere over here, probably somewhere in the back of it. We could also make it in the center. Let's make it a bit taller for sure. Then we can also turn it around so that the windows are looking properly. One thing I will need to do for my trading is I will need to turn off planks now. The reason for that is that planks take away the volume that we export, and planks is only worth 1/3 of what meat brings in, right? So I don't wanna use the volume for planks when I can use the volume for the full meat as well, since we are constantly full of meat now. Yeah, let's have a minimum of 30, and the rest we can sell. That's a lot. Another levy can be raised. This is very much appreciated. That's over 200 coins now we're getting out of this. There you go, leading to 400 that we have at the moment. Very nice. But as we can see, we only have a limit of 500. So we should not get above that. Now, one thing is clear, we need more iron, we need more coal to get a better tools production out. So I need to get this iron deposit in here somehow, right? Because that's the only other iron deposit we have in my territory right now. And bear in mind, look at that. A territory, what does it cost me now? 20 coin on the upkeep, so it's doubled already. We need to be super careful, otherwise I could lose my money again really quickly. So what I would like to do here is, I would like to use this, even though it doesn't look pretty for now. It's only 200 iron ore that we have there though. So we get rid of this quickly, and as you can see, despite having a pollution, it doesn't outright negatively affect the houses here, only if we're getting too close. So now this one here gets affected, and if I build this one down here, this one gets affected negatively, but that's okay, right? No building gets negatively affected if I place it here. So I would like to do this to get a bit more iron out. We need to do the same thing about the coal. Now for the coal, I do have a bit of a problem because coal chops away trees. So where should we do this? I'm thinking about this area here right now, because we want to get rid of the trees here at some point eventually. We also have this tree, this forest here that I want to get rid of, but that's once again outside of my territory, and that is hunting grounds right now. So in this case, I can't do that. So it's that area here for my next coal production, more or less, right? We could have it somewhere here. Or actually, let's place it down somewhere here. So it's still close enough to my industry zone, right? That we have this going. And this one here will take care of these trees then here. Let's make this one a wood cutting area again, right? And then especially also this area here that I want to chop. And the charcoal burner should take care of this. So with this, we're doubling our input here now because we are not producing enough. So the smelter constantly needs to wait for either coal or iron to come in. And we can't allow that permanently. Yeah, but tools are still coming in, right? That's a great thing. And we can use them for our latest construction now. The charcoal hut and the camp down here. That's another 4 tools. Quite a lot. Now, another thing we should really get started now is the bread production. This is tricky once again because we need open fields for that, open area. And we don't have any, right? So once again, we still have this area here available that we could use totally. That is fine. And we have lots of space over here in this territory, right? But once again, we would need to purchase that. There's also some iron here, berry bushes. It wouldn't be the worst territory to expand to next, what I can see right now. The reason for that is we really want to start upgrading our trade routes to get the volume up. Right now, it's not a high volume. It's only 20 per trade. We want to boost this one. Improve the Northbury trade route will cost me 50 bread. Right, we need that, and the middle trade route needs 100 polished stone. Now the polished stone we already have in place, that production, but it's still going to take some time. The Northbury trade route, the 50 bread, is something we need to get cracking soon. Alright, charcoal burner number 2 is up. The same goes now with my iron camp. The iron camp only has space for 2 people. That's not a lot. So in this case, iron ore is very slow to come in. So let's open up our progression next. There's actually 2 things I would like to unlock. The first one is the farming. And with that we have the bread production. And the other one is edicts. Our very first one we can implement with that. That's 100 coin we spent on these progressions. For this we can now go ahead and let's actually start with the edict, right? There it is now, our very first one. We can implement up to 3 of them. And they give me some certain bonuses that are actually pretty valuable. My very first edict would be the careful planning. Refund 50% of the tools used after constructing a building part. That's really powerful, especially since we're going to expand our manor house, we're expanding our church, we're expanding our monastery at some point, and all of these cost a lot of tools. So we are basically getting 50% reduction of tool consumption with that. Super nice. I'm going to implement this right away. The other one is the bailiff here. That is also really nice because this reduces the cost of every mandate by 50%. So that would mean that we only need 50 polished stone instead of 100, for example, for our trade route upgrade. So these are the ones that I would like to go ahead with. Someone is blocked by something. No, I don't see anyone blocked here. Next is now my wheat farm. Yeah, I hope this is enough space, honestly. We'll just see. Let's get the wheat farm going somewhere here, right? And if it's not enough, we'll need to move it. I really don't want to purchase this territory just yet. It's just so much money again that we lose, and I can't afford all of this. We should also get then a windmill going. I would love to have the windmill up here somewhere. It just looks fantastic, I think. Having this one close by. Perhaps instead of this house here, this could work out. But let's build the wheat farm first. Workforce is always great. Thank you very much. And with that, we have reached prosperity level 50 and unlocked tier 3 content. That would be now especially the wheat farm improvement, another edict that we can get sooner or later. Also, we can now have the stonemason hut improvement. That's probably one of my most important ones here. Yeah, the beer production, commonwear production, that's all not so important. Okay, there's already my wheat farm. Let's assign 2 people to that and start painting the crop field. And yeah, this is not going to be easy. Bit of space we have, after all. Okay, this would be adequately sized now for 2 people. But of course, we want to have 3 people here at some point. Too large, it tells me. Can we push in here? Yeah, we can still push a bit into that. I still need to have another farmer, so that's another builder, let's call him. Getting this one in. And this is adequately sized. Hooray! Absolutely fantastic. Loving that. And with that, we don't have a problem here right now. I don't really have fencing. Let's go ahead and get me the fencing out there. The village fences. This only cost me 25 coin. It's a pretty important or pretty useful improvement. Because this one allows me to kind of like structure the path here that we have. Right? This is the exit path where people leave my town. So we're going to structure it so that they don't trample over my fields. Right? Just going to make a tiny fence there so that that path continues. And this is enough. I'm really surprised at that, honestly. Very nice. Now, next in line, we have the flour mill. This one produces then the flour, and then we have the bakery for the bread production. It's all a bit far away from the granary, unfortunately, but it can't be helped, right? We already have the fields over there. There's really not that much more space here. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my flour mill right across it. So we're just gonna cut it into this one. That's a very expensive construction, so we will need to wait on that. And then we can have the bakery. And the bakery is super expensive, like 10 tools, 20 stone and 20 planks. And it will also cost me 7 on the upkeep, right? Also it cost me 50 in construction. Really, really expensive, but very, very useful. And this is a stone deposit. And the bakery is something that we can actually have in the village itself, right? Because it's totally fine to have something like that here. It's not pollution. It is producing bread for the people of Montclair. So this is something, we probably could even have it by the market. I think this would make the most sense. So let's go ahead and place us the bakery over here, just by our village square right now, our village market area. And, you know, travel time should be fine. They're not going to be super efficient, of course, but they will be fine. 17 tools, down to 7 now again, since we're consuming it, but that's okay. We got a nice tools production. At this point, they're still waiting for the iron ingots. And we're still also waiting for some iron ore, so that's still not up to the task, really. We'll just see. I really can't afford another iron smelter, though. That would be overkill. Yeah, with that, we have now a negative balance again. I hope that we can rectify this soon. The levy mandate is almost gone again, so we can raise some additional taxes again soon. Next, there it is, our windmill. Has all the resources in. What a tight space. Let's just check it out. There's really no way for me to get rid of that forest here at the moment. And there it is, also our flour mill. Let's assign 1 miller for now, right? It's still gonna take quite some time before the wheat is coming in, because they're just now starting to plant the fields. So this will take some time, especially since, yeah, they're all not very motivated, unfortunately. Took some time, but there it is, our very first harvest of Montclair for wheat. The miller is waiting for it, and what we can also do now is assign the bakers to that. Yeah, let's go with those 3 again. I need to be a bit careful how many more people I accept. For now, let's go ahead, have the bakery working with that, right? So they're waiting now for the flour, getting the water from the local well, and then produce the bread out of that. And that bread we can then use for, yeah, storage. It's the last storage now we use in my granary for now. The reason for this is why we want to have it here, if I find it. There it is. Looks a bit similar to cheese. The reason for that is we want to have it stored so we can use it for upgrading our trade routes. Yeah, let's also get a second miller in. So this is sped up. And the last 2 we could use once again as a buffer in my builder workshops, so they don't leave us. Oh, we don't have anyone anymore. Perfect. Yeah, upkeep is killing us a bit right now, so it's 155 right now, and the tax is only 110, so we're not making enough taxes right now to get up with the keep. So the trading is a bit, and the mandates are my primary source of income. So these 3 here. Trade is really low though, right? That's why we want to get the volume up. Now, the windmill is working. We're producing flour, and it's being delivered already to the local bakery. Now, since we have some resources, what I would like to do is now looking at my manor house again. The reason for this is we want to reach level 2 now here. That would be 25 splendor points. And we only have 0. And we want to go for the village fortifications here that unlocks us the watch post. And this in turn allows us then to upgrade the houses to medium density housing. That is something I want to do because it saves us space as more people can be squeezed into these houses. Let's have a look how we can do this. That would be the splendor points, right? And we do have a bunch of options here, right? So we can get this weather vein in. Let's just check it out up there. I could even go with 2 of them, like so. Then we have a simple passageway. We do have a stable fence, a wood shed. All right. I mean, it's really looking like a crappy little manor house right now. A roofed stable. Oh, for sure. We can have this one just here by the entrance. This is where... Oh, can we actually attach it? We could attach it to that. Probably want to have it somewhere here. Together with that shed somehow. Let's have a look. Stable fence. That is also something. So this is all for the horses, right? This is just a little area here. This would give me 18 points already, right? So it is entirely possible to reach it. A rustic shed, that's not enough. We could have another, honestly, another roof shed over here. So we're just moving all of this a bit further to the back here. So this would be 22 points now, right? And actually, I think we should build this now. The weather vein is actually giving me the most here. There you go, right? Let's build it. It's not about aesthetics at this point. We are far away from to be able to afford aesthetics. It's all about those labor splendor points. This will breach us, right? So this will bring us to the next level here. Very good. And with that, I can get the watch post going. But this whole construction will take time. And a lot of planks too. 40. Yeah, let's... I'm super hesitant about this. But everyone that we take in, of course, increases my food consumption, but at the same time increases my tax revenue. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, housing requirement goes up though, of course. Yeah, that's a good income there for the meat, but it's not a very good volume so far. Got the first bread out too. First 5 bread are in, and with that we have a total storage of 10 bread now. That was quick. So we're not that far away from being able to upgrade our trade routes here. And there it is. Labor tier 2 has been reached with the construction of it. And with that, we can now then push for the village fortifications. One more thing. Let's get the gathering hut number 3 online because we are running out of berries as far as I can see. So we need to work on that. Also, another problem comes up, and that is my stonecutter camp over here will be running out of stone soon, right? So from the 400 original, we're down to 69 only now. That is something, and we already have our next stone deposit over there. That is possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and build me a stonecutter camp already. This will cause some pollution, but that's okay. And let's use it just here beside this road that where you know, all the travelers are getting through. For now, it's also once again just a temporary camp. The main problem here for the windmill really is that there's not enough wheat coming in, right? So this is the main culprit here. We need a second wheat farm at some point soon. But we got 20 bread already, nice. Finally, we have the bread, but I'm not gonna use it just yet, because before we can do this, we need a bailiff, right? Only with the bailiff can we upgrade a trade route. So now we have also the influence points. You're getting them through trade, since on this difficulty there are no missions, right? No missions coming in. They usually give you lots of influence points. This time, only way to get the influence points in is trading. So it's a very long process actually. And we're getting this one in with Northbury since we're allied with them, right? So every trade we do gives me 1 or 2 points from time to time. Not always though. And the same thing applies here to Middle, where we're getting some clergy influence points in from time to time. So these are the most important ones here. With the bread, we could unlock Davenport for us. They would purchase bread. They would purchase boar actually. That is interesting. At the very least, we would get kingdom points out of them. I'm not gonna use them yet though, because yeah, there's not really much that we can sell them to. Also, they wouldn't give me anything of value. Down the road here, we have then ones that we can purchase with points straight away, like Trotbury. And I think Trotbury is gonna be a very nice one here for us, especially since they want polish stone, bread, and clothes. So those are things we can sell easily. However, for now though, we need the bailiff and also some other things like the villager fortification. Which one should we go first? I can only go with one of them. I think we're gonna start with the bailiff, because this gives me now the upgrade. The upgrade itself for the trade route will take quite some time. And in this case here, let's just get the new sub-building in, and that's the bailiff's office. And it's a tiny building. In this case here, I think a tower should be fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and get me a tower finally. A major one or a minor one? Let's go with the minor one. Costs me a bit less, and we can have a nice juicy tower now here for the manor house overlooking the village perhaps. Let's just check it out where we can have it. This is not looking great. I'm thinking about the center here, right? It would cost me a bit more because we need to make it taller, but that's how it would look then. Cozy or not? The thing that I would actually like to do though is we can push the bailiff's office somewhere here, because it doesn't need to be attached to the main building, right? As far as I can see, we have everything done for it. Requires the light fortification because it's still in the area of the manor house, right? And it would give fortification to the surrounding area, which once again is very helpful for us. We already have the commoners here, so I probably would like to push them here, right? So let's have the bailiff's office for my next district then. The only thing that we need here is an entry, an entrance. Somewhere on the side, somewhere here, probably here. Let's just see that we can make this work so that we get all of them in while it still looks kind of like okay. This looks good actually, because we have it at this point now, right? Yeah. Make it a bit smaller perhaps again. This reduces though its radius, but that's still okay. Let's build this one here, the bailiff's office. So we are kind of getting two things in again that we absolutely need. That's the light fortification, and then also our bailiff, right? And the light fortification is actually needed then for the patrol coverage as well, so that we can upgrade the density of the housing. So that's this district here, and then this district here that we can upgrade with that. We need to use it like that, because I really, really want to keep my upkeeps low. We're losing money constantly if it's not for the levy, right? And the levy I can't use that often. Another person would like to join. How's my food looking? It's okay. We do lose meat, I think, at this point. Let's invite. How's my housing unhappiness? It's at -3. That means not too many people are homeless yet, that it makes any difference really, right? Another thing I could work out for these guys here then already is a bit of a beauty zone. So let's just see if I have my... If I have a little park here, how many would we be able to get in? Let's just build the first tree. We're gonna have another tree, make it so that we can actually combine them. There you go. This will cost me 20 each, so we gotta be very careful there again. Those two trees, and then some bushes. They're very helpful because they're cheap, and they also increase the decoration area, right? So if I push it here, look at that, how big it gets at this point. Just having some bushes around those trees makes all the difference. I'm gonna do this over here too. Wait a second, there it is. And yeah, that's quite a beauty area already. And we build it just like that. And all of them have it now, and all of them could or will actually upgrade. This will be expensive though. We can afford it. We have also 20 tools at this point, so that's working out. Also, very nice, the bailiff has been finished, and we can now decide who should be our city bailiff of Montclair. And as we can see, they also have bonuses, right? So Fridolin here would give me a job learning speed increase by 10%. Heather would give me a trade price bonus of 10% from villages with clergy, kingdom, and labor allegiance. So basically with all of them. So yeah, I like to go with that because that's 10% more income coming out of my exports. Bailiff is there, and what we can do now with the bailiff, finally, okay, we could prospect now mineral deposits. I'm not gonna do that just yet. We could also spend coin to get influence points directly. That's pretty great. And we can also now improve the Northbury trade route. And we're gonna invest our 50 bread into this, and she is now doing the task. It's gonna take up to 10 days for her to finish it, and then we have a higher volume out of our trade routes. How very nice. Also, we do have 6 influence points again, so that means I can go ahead and get my village fortification now. There you go. And with that we get a watch post, and we get the patrol finally, and that is once again something very, very useful. Let's check it out. And as you can see, we can now make a patrol area. It is actually giving me also a light fortification area, right? a fortification area. But in this case, it also gives me then a patrol. And that's the main thing that I want to get out of this tower here. So let's place it so that we get a good amount of people in. I think over here should be fine. This is just for fortification, right? We're not at the patrol yet. There you go. And now we can also build the watch post at the Manor House. Once again, that's something that we could push up here, right? So we can also get these guys in again. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. So with that, we can implement the light fortification bonus for these guys, right? And we just need a smaller entrance again. Oh, we will need to turn the whole thing. There you go. Right, and these guys are getting now boosted, and on top of that, we're getting our very first watch post. That is just perfect. Don't forget, we haven't started upgrading the Manor House just yet, right? This is something that is a luxury. That is something we can do later. Right now, I want to increase the quality of my housing and the density especially, so we don't need to build that many houses again. Housing penalty goes up and up at the moment, so that's that. Where's my bailiff, by the way? Traveling to Northbury at the moment. Now we have a bunch of bread. What can we do with that? Bread is refined food, so it would be a nice addition to my market because people like bread. We could also sell it. So either we get the happiness bonus and get more levies, or we sell it with the trade routes and get direct money in from that. Bread is worth at the moment if we want to export it, and now let me just check. We can't even export it. Where was my trade export, bread export? There it is, right? With the Davenport, so we need to spend the bread and then we can sell the bread, but it's only worth 2 coin. I rather use it on the market, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and build me another food market, and it's gonna be for bread. And where should we have it? It's getting a bit full here right now. It's of course only our very first smaller village market. There's gonna be a bigger one as well at some point. Let's place it here. This one, we probably will need to push outside a bit. It's blocking the way. And look at those food stalls, they're all empty. What's going on here? The meat is empty. The berries are empty. But we have them? Yeah, we have them actually stored here. Let's assign another person to the granary, so they do a better job at transporting. The same goes with the warehouse. There's my next food stall, and let's assign the bread to this one and the market tender. Taking care of the bread now. That's my second type of refined food. Also, our very first watch post. I'm very happy about this. Now, there's 2 different type of people we can employ into the watch post now. The first one is the patroller, and the other one is the watchman. This one here provides the fortification then. But I need the patroller, in fact, to get the patrols going. And for this, we can also now set a patrolling area where the patroller is then going around. And I would like to start here with my commoner district. Right, so we're getting that message then. And I would also like to start with these districts here. The inner districts that we have, basically, right? Perhaps we can squeeze in this one too. And that's it. I think this will be enough for one already. Perhaps we might even need another patroller as well. By the way, we should upgrade her to make it more efficient. Right, and this now gives me the light patrol coverage. There it's coming in. So we're gonna get some mighty upgrades soon. Do I have the building materials for that? Actually, I do. We have tools, we have planks, and we have stone. The most important one will be this area here, I guess, for my first upgrades as well. What we could think about here is we could add a sub-building, a watch post, to this tax office, right? That's actually a pretty neat thing to do. It's a tiny building here. This would be, I think, enough already. Yes. Building it like this. It looks strange, doesn't it? Looks just very strange indeed. Can we do it like that? This looks even stranger. So we might... Oh, this okay. If I go like this and at the same time expand my tower a bit. Right. That's actually... It almost looks like a church. And this one is now providing an additional patroller then. And also, perhaps even... Wait a second, while we're at it. Tax collector capacity. Yeah, let's do it like this. Because with that, we can assign a second tax collector to this building. And on top of that, another patroller. I love the modular building system in this game. Okay, 2 people unemployed. Let's assign them to the builder workshop, so that they don't leave us anytime soon. So how's it going now? How's it going? Okay, we get lots of upgrades here right now because of the... Oh yeah, there it is, our first medium density housing now. This is an upgrade of 20 planks only. So I can see that we're gonna need a lot of planks. My second sawmill is already active again. That's important. These people have now also the fortification then and the beautification already. They will upgrade as well at some point. Montclair is now a town. Holy cow, we've leveled up again. Very nice. That's because we have now, yeah, medium density housing. There it is. It's consisting now of 2 sheds. Don't forget, this is the version of the low quality medium density housing. If we upgrade this to medium quality medium density housing, it looks a bit different again. We should be able to see this here actually. Yep. Because these have the medium quality bonus and they will get the upgrade then too. Now, as we can see, there's 6 people that we can squeeze in, and just compare that to the 2 that in a normal house live, right? It's not like double, it's like triple occupants in here. Very nice. Also makes it easier for my tax collector to get more money in at the same time. I mean, you can't see it, but I'm actually shivering of excitement. Basically, the whole body is shaking at this point with all the potential incomes we're getting out of this. Now, I'm just waiting for the patrol coverage. That's the major problem that we're going to face, I think. Because 1 patroller really is not enough, even though we upgraded her already. There it is also, improving trade routes with Northbury was fantastic. And with that, we can now push up to 50 goods instead of 20. And with that, we can also sell more goods. That's especially true for the meat. And for this, I would probably also like to push another butchery. By the way, we lack a butcher. Interesting. Probably someone left at some point or reassigned. And this is gone. So we need the meat now rolling, really. More than ever, right? So that's going to be a lot of additional volume. And I will need to make sure that we can meet that. So let's just check it out with the planks. 82. I'm going to increase the minimum stock now to 60 for the planks. And I'm going to do the same thing for my... Actually, coming close, we're also going to push to 10 now. And the meat, there it is. I'm going to say, let's have 70 as my minimum, right? So I have time to react in case we're getting lower than that. That's one thing. This one's finished. We're getting now 2 patrollers out of that for this whole area, and there they are already. Gonna take some time again for all of this to be covered. Over here, we're finally getting our very first medium quality, medium density housing. This brings in another 3 places. And also, holy shoot, it costs 40 planks. That's very expensive. There's another upgrade now happening. So that's already 80 planks we consume. Just with these 2 constructions now. Also, the very first upgraded trade is gonna happen now. There's the trader coming in. Let's just see what he's doing. How much he's purchasing of my meat. And yeah, 25. That's way more than before. Bringing in 83 coin. And he's also getting planks. That was probably a bad thing for us. Should not have gone with that. As we are needing all the planks right now. Off he goes again. He also sold us some tools there, because we still have the 15 tools threshold going for a bargain price, really. So far so good. I'm really excited for Montclair. I hope you are too. As we're making some very good progress right now. It's gonna take a while for these districts here to upgrade, right? There's a lot of additional medium density housings now coming along. And with that, we should also see a nice income in tax revenue. And at some point, we might consider now also expanding towards the ocean then, because we still don't have ocean access. What a shame. Stay tuned!